Heyo everybody, it's Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to some more Project PlanCo. I know last week we said I'd probably be moving over to Fantasy next, but I'm actually doing this recording a little bit early, the day after the last recording, and we do have 7 blueprints ready to go for Adventure, and I just wanted to prep this one in advance. So, same message as last time. We still have 45 plots at the time of this recording, but by the time this is released, there'll probably be less. And a message to all of the builders who are currently assigned a plot and keeping a pulse on the project. I know there is no hard deadline for these, but I've always said the sooner the better. The sooner you finish your plot, the sooner we can build an episode, record an episode, and get your build into the park. So the rate of which these videos come out and the rate that the park is built at is completely dependent on how fast the builders are finishing their plots. So again, everybody, the sooner the better. And today we have a total of 7 blueprints, although apparently 3 blueprints were combined into 1, and I'm curious to see how that goes. But first off, we are looking for Squid Guy's A12 plot. Let's see if we can find A12 here. A12, adventure build, no shop or anything like that. Beware of neighbors, it says here. And on the workshop says, a Squid Guy says here, water refilling station for trains taking adventure into Gulpy Forest and out of Ellie's Western World. First time submitting Channel 5. Very excited. I went over one piece for nighttime lighting, something I usually forget about entirely. So if a piece needs to go, I think the tree sunk into the ground. That's fine. If you're a piece over, that's fine. I do not care as much as Batch does. So we're going to go ahead and delete this volume cube because I'm assuming it comes paired. Why did I subscribe to this twice? Interesting. Looks like I subscribed to them all twice. Oh, you gave me double alignment cubes. I think this one was meant for your neighbor, but that's quite okay. Is this really the front? There's like a tree covering the front. I think they said something about the tree could go if it's something over part count. So we're going to line this up. Boom. And I'm assuming the second cube kind of lines up as well. Now the problem is, not really a problem. I just delete one of the 2 cubes and it's in. I gotta say, Batch, you're a genius for doing the alignment cubes this time. Oh my God, has that definitely made everything so much easier because I could just delete the bounding box, put the thing in. I'm looking for a builder sign. Where's a builder sign when you need one? That's a contest one. Probably be better if I go over to the smaller buildings. Let's grab this one. We need to represent our builders. I guess some people have been including their own, but if you haven't, I gotta put it in for you. And this builder is Squid Guy. I guess I should check the form because that might be, yeah, see it says Slay Run. Slaw Run? That's what's confusing. If their Discord name is Slaw Run, I want to go with that because that's what they signed up as under. And then the Squid Guy is actually their Steam name, Slaw Run. So there we go. Our first adventure build. Let's take a look at it. So they said it's like a refueling station. We got some tanks here. Are they refueling water? I guess. So the guests on the train have some water to drink, but it also looks like fuel pumps. So either they're diluting the fuel with water or they are storing fuel inside of a water tank. Either way, it seems dangerous and a health hazard, whichever way you look at it. But definitely looks like an adventure build. Got the shabby shack build style going on. Your roof is like floating a little bit, or I guess that's just a gap. It feels like it's floating. Personally, is it just the roof that's in a group? Seems to be. I just feel like it seems more appropriate just to tuck it down so it's not got that like floatiness. I think that's better. Although I could have brought it up just a little bit so it's not clipping in the back. That's about all I would change here. But yeah, uses the Adventure DLC. So the idea with this whole area is to use as much of the Adventure DLC pieces as possible, like the pack. So it'll be interesting to see how this area shapes out compared to the others, because with sci-fi, there is no sci-fi pack. It's part of the base game. Fantasy, there is no fantasy pack. It's part of the base game. But we want to use all the different build styles. World's Fair is something we already covered, which was a DLC. Yeah, and we got a little bit of pirate and everything. So not all the expansive areas are packs or DLC. Spooky is, Christmas is a free DLC, and we have adventure and western. Yeah, so I think this is only like the only true full DLC area other than Spooky, which is interesting. So that one went in good. Let's see what we got going on next. Mr. Vanderpants has taken out train station A13. I'm assuming that's, yep, this one here. Okay. Well, look at that. We get to put the neighbor in next to the fueling station. And what do they say on the workshop? Enjoy adventure train station made for Project PlanCo collab. It should not require any additional setup. Perfect. All right. So in my blueprints, I should see it somewhere here. Adventure train station. Ooh, looking good. Looking real good. All right. Cube is aligned. Place. Delete, and wow, look at that. Let's change the time of day. Maybe 1 p.m. Oh, almost there. 2 p.m. There we go. Looking good. And this is Mr. Vanderpants. Do we have a little builder sign? No builder sign from what I see. So we're gonna take this one, duplicate it. The luggage claim, I'll just put it in right here, right front and center, and I'll just double check that their name is the same on Steam as it is on Discord. Oh no, it's kind of hard to select now. And this one is Mr. Did they capitalize it? Nope. Vander and then capital P Pants. Mr. Vanderpants, looking good. Let's take a look at your build. We got a little bit of a luggage claim. Makes sense. We're traveling. A clock for the train, departure times. Very good. Looks like the queue was already preset by batch, which is nice. So I don't have to do any path work there. Come on into the queue here. Little luggage spots. Some seats. Ah, very, very nice. And then you get in here. Although this pillar's a little bit in the way. It's fine. It's fine. A different build style for adventure, but still adventure. Adventure DLC includes these kind of like temple-y pieces, rubble. You've added some overgrown moss and foliage, which I really like. It's a clean aesthetic though. Some of these temple pieces generally come like in a beigey color, and it looks to me like you recolored them white, which I have no qualms with, which gives it more of a clean aesthetic. And having that next to your little neighbor here with the shack, it's starting to look like an adventure area. Look at that. Now, what was your part limit? Because, let's see here. You had 900 pieces. That's not very much. Because I was going to say, like, part of the train station. I mean, this is fine that it comes in behind the train station. But I'm hoping that some of them, one of the train stations, will actually go into the train station. Right? I do like that kind of like immersive factor where it's like we're entering into the train station while we're riding the transport ride. But for the adventure, it kind of makes sense that it's a little bit outdoorsy. But looking really, really good there. I guess we could take a look at both of these during the nighttime before I forget. Nice, soft, subtle lighting. Very good. A little bit brighter where the train pops in. I like it. And this one here, they said they only use like 1 or 2 lights. I think that's perfect. Just the right amount of lighting. It has this adventure lighting, this adventure mood, warm lights, a little bit on the darker side. I approve. Definitely very, very good. All right. Moving on. Mr. Sanders, a beginner. I don't know if they're a beginner builder, but they took a beginner plot, and we are looking for A14, which would be a beginner plot here. This is Mr. Sanders' plot. And what do they say on their workshop? Adventure build, level beginner, style adventure, no TMTK, 350 pieces, destroyed building because of an earthquake. What? If there was a destroyed building because of an earthquake, all of the buildings would be destroyed. And maybe there was an earthquake and this was the only one that hasn't been repaired yet. Seems, I mean, yeah, I'm a little nervous about this one, to be honest. All right, so let's align your cube and get her in. Now the cube is aligned, but I am seeing some spacing issues back here. Maybe I can pull this stuff over a little bit. I like the fact that it's kind of like overgrowing the path, you know what I mean? So probably doesn't hurt to, because there's that hard line between the path and the dirt, which I'm not a big fan of. And we could just cover that up there. That's a bit better. It's kind of doing it over here as well, so we can probably space this out as well. I'm going to take some of these low to the ground ones and bring them over. Duplicate. Much better. Sound like it put an extra one in. No? All right. So an overgrown, dilapidated building. The front is also doing it. I don't like this at all. The transition between the road to the build is a little too stark that it's not growing over the path. Something to think about when you are building it in the plot in the park. Take a look at that yourself. Does this look, a little strange if you're going outside of your plot, but it does have some overhang like this? For the sake of immersion, I think that's okay. So yes, as I was saying, overgrown, dilapidated building. Could use some love. I know you're gonna have a building here. This side's a little bit plain. The edging here, there's no custom trim, nothing really separating. Here's a little bit better, but it's still flat. Like I would have probably created some depth, if that makes sense, between this so that it's not like completely flat on one side, but then we're missing pieces here, but I guess it's kind of destroyed. Destruction, for me, this is kind of like, oh, I didn't want to finish my build. It's a little bit on the disappointing side, if I'm going to be honest, in terms of like the actual front of the building details. It doesn't really use the adventure pieces, really. It just uses wood, foliage. I guess this like little clay pillar thing is the only thing adventure. If anything, it has like spooky stuff in here. These are all from the spooky pack. So yeah, not a lot of adventure pieces being used here. But I'm not going to be as picky this time around. We don't really have a QA team going through this, kicking stuff back. And if I'm really unhappy with something, I will address it here and then remove it from the episode and send it back. I'm not at a point where I'm completely unhappy, but at the same time, I feel like it's a community project. If people think that this could be improved, we could probably replace it, update it, and that wouldn't be such a big deal. Maybe I don't want to delete the volume cubes for the ones that I feel that way about. Other than that, though, I think it's okay. This is a beginner builder, right? Somebody that's new to the game. And with all of the builds in the park, we want to have builds of all different styles. I think coming through here with the ruins, and then we'll have the surrounding areas, the surrounding builds. It will blend in at the end, but by itself, looking at it from this side, it's super plain. I think having A15 come in is going to kind of save this build a little bit and make it look a little bit proper. I think this needs to go out a little bit just in the case that you can see it, but yeah, it's not too bad. I do like the effort on the interior here. It's kind of fun that you can see in. So I think that makes the destruction of it work a little bit better. If this was just empty on the inside, I would probably be like, no, this isn't going to work. But it's a cute little house, and once everything around it comes in, it'll look a little bit better. I think the one thing that's just a little bit disappointing to me is just like the plot is so big, and then like 90% of it's just used for grass. And I think maybe there's a better way we can do this or update this and make it like a little bit more patchy and random, just like delete a few bits here and there and then add some paint. I'm not really sure, but it's just like this big square patch of grass where it's like not really there everywhere else. So I'm sure maybe like Batch might want to come in here and delete some of this grass and then like add a couple things. We'll see. We always have like empty spots around. They're gonna need a little bit of paint and a couple trees and polish. Once all that stuff gets in, this will probably fit a little bit better. But if it was a very large plot and it only feels like it got quarter used. So, I mean, I'm indifferent about it, but yeah, I'll let you guys decide at the end of the day whether it should get an update or not. I think it's fine for now, and we have a lot of builds to go through. We have a lot of the park. As the surrounding buildings come in, it'll look probably just fine. So some of the newer builders struggle with this stuff, so, filling this gigantic plot might have been a challenge for them. And moving on, we got the Madman, who I only approved Madman for A16, and then suddenly they were building for A16, 17, 18, and 19, 17, 18, 19. And I was like, what? And Batch approved it? So yeah, we got like 16, 17, 18, all of these, all different plots. And apparently, Mad's blueprint is going to fill all three of these. Let's see how this goes. What do they say on the workshop? Adventure build plot. That's it. Okay, I'm a little nervous. blueprints. And you didn't even use your alignment cube. You had 3 of them. Madman, how do you always not follow rules? You are a rebel. Ugh. Okay. Well, you filled all 3 plots, but I guess what I'm kind of curious now, if you had 3 plots and you just made 1 out of them, this is curious to find out. 300, 250, so you had 550, 650. If you took the part count of each of the allotted plots, you'd have 650 pieces that you're allowed to build that one big giant thing with. There's no really in the place in the park that I could build stuff. Maybe back here. 650. You did 875. 900. I guess you went over, but I guess it's probably okay that you went over considering your build fills quite a large area. Becomes more of a centerpiece now than anything else. But it would have been nice if you at least followed the instructions for setup. No sink me, hide me sign. Like, what am I doing here? Why is there blue shit down there? Yeah, you've included blue shit in your build. What is this, all this blue shit? You included... Oh gosh, Mad. You are such a madman. I don't understand this. I yelled at you last time with your last build. You think you would have learned from this? Oh my god. Didn't use the volume cubes and brought the instructions in with your build, and your build is completely going out of the bounding boxes and smashing into the train station. Oh brother, oh brother. So the Madman obviously is a very good builder, has created some of the craziest things that I have ever seen in Planet Coaster history. But in terms of following directions and instructions, they are a lone wolf, a nomad. They can only work alone with their own rules and own instructions, but like none of this fits. It's all floating. I had this issue with your last build. It got me completely frustrated, and it's not... I think this would have been better if you sent me 1 blueprint, 2 blueprints, 3 blueprints. Each one of these being their own blueprint with the alignment cubes would have been way more proper. Because this being one giant building, if I slide it over here, it's smashing into the train station, and so then it's smashing into the train tracks. Yeah. And it's empty inside. Why is it like this? Why is it like this? Why is it like this? No, I'm sending it back. Madman, submit me each of those 3 buildings with the alignment cube so I can put the 1 building in. Submit me, just like intended, A19, A18, 8, or what is it? 16, 17, 18. I'll plop that down for the next episode, and that one, and that one. And whatever like this hollow bare interior is, either decorate it, add some more pieces, or fill it up. Use the alignment cubes so they all pop in snugly, because I'm either going to run into the train station, I'm going to overlap that. It's not working for me, and even the build as it stands appeared to have some unfinished bits to it. So I'm sending it back. This is your instructions on how to fix it. You figure it out and simulate placing it yourself into the park. Or whatever you do is like upload the blueprints, go back to this park file, not this one, but the empty one. Place the train station, place this, and see if it goes in. If you can place it, I can place it. If you look at it and say that it looks good, then I can place it and say that it looks good. But you guys all have the same rules, and I don't feel like this one's completely abiding by it. The build overall looked good, looked like adventure. All right, let's take another look at it. Yeah, it's like temple pieces, but like as I can see here, it is 3 distinct builds. I could see the separation between those 3 builds. So just submit me 3 builds that all fit properly. And for this one here, you got to sort something out. It's completely unfinished on the interior. So either like make the illusion that it's finished by, I don't know what the solution is, but I'll give you 100 pieces, 200 pieces or whatever to make this not look so barren, because we're going to walk by that and be like, what's going on here? So yeah, some things to be addressed there. We will come back to this build in the next adventure update, but we still have at least 1 more. Okay, so we do have 1 more. We're going to be going over to A19, the beach, which I have to assume is this one. And what do we have? Blossom. Awesome Blossom. Hello there, Johnny and Channel 5 Gaming Discord. Blossom here with my submission for the beach area A19. That's all. See you on Discord. Adorable. Okay, well, what was the rules for this one? 500 pieces, you get to decorate a beach. So I'm assuming there's an alignment cube for this. Look at that. People following rules. All right. There we go. Click it in. Oh, delete the cube. This cube is also still part of this. That's okay. And I like the little bit of wooden trim you put in here. It's quite nice. Decorated all the way right to the bridge. I noticed Blossom does these oriental symbols, I guess like Chinese writing or something. I don't really know what that is. We've seen that through a lot of their builds, very Asian inspired. But I think it works for this area of the park. These are quite nice, what are they called? Lawn furniture? Beach furniture? These are quite nice. Super fancy. Little tiki huts, very fitting for adventure. And some palm trees, some bigger jungle trees. Love it. It's a decorated beach. Fun little plot there. I like the idea that Batch came up with this to, like, you know, normally Batch would come in here and decorate a few things and put some stuff down. But turning it into a plot was quite a fun idea. And I think it paid off because we got these little tiki huts. It's very inviting. It's very custom. And that must have been like a fun little build to do. And it really fills in this area. Had we had not kicked back Madman's thing. Oh, let's go back to it for a second. I know that it's like, it's almost there. I would say like 90% there. Like something's wrong with the angle, right? And I think just having 3 separate blueprints that I place in with the alignment cubes so that they're not crashing and they all can connect. You know, this would be the episode here. Getting the beach down, this building. Like I said, even if I could line it up myself where it's not floating and it's not having issues where it's crashing into the train station, Madman, you're going to have to take this blueprint and place it in yourself because they use their alignment cube and see how to individually get all 3 of your builds to work. Also, another issue here. This needs to be fixed. You're going to see this as you're coming down the train. So yeah, the more I look at the building, the more problems I find with it. So yeah, I'm happy that I'm sending this one back. You went over your piece count and still have an unfinished building. So I'll allot you 100, 200 pieces to get it done right. But yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good nonetheless. It's got the adventure vibes to it. It's pretty good. So just finish it off, get it the rest of the way there. So yeah, if we had that one in, which we will, once Mad fixes it up, it's like 90% there. Just a few bugs, a few holes, a few unfinished things. Got to wiggle it, fit it, make sure the spacing's all correct. And once that happens, also test if the train can fit through here when you do get your build going. The train runs around so you can see how wide it is. This is what the area would look like. So we got the beach in, that, and then the train station and the little neighbor guy over here. Very cool. I'm going to leave that there for now. Oh, and this guy as well. Almost forgot about you. Yeah, I'm not too mad at this build. It's a beginner build. It's pretty decent, and I think it'll blend in once all the other stuff comes in. Certainly a finished build. In the there's no missing pieces. The interior is quite nice. I might have been going a little hard on them, and they follow the instructions. It fit. I just had to finagle the pathing a little bit. Yeah, it may lack a little bit of expertise or advanced polish on the exterior of the building to make it kind of looks like a kissy face. Blowing O's to the side. I don't know what it is. There's something funny about this, but that is like the nature of like beginner builders. They end up looking kind of cartoonish, but I think that's fun. It's got a little bit of personality, so I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna leave that one in personally. I think that's fine because there is no glaring issues with it, but there we go. We got a fun little adventure area started. That is quite good. Looking at the form, it says 24 submissions have been linked. 24 links have been submitted. We did 1, 2, 3, technically 4, 5 in this one. I don't remember how many we did last episode, so it was like 4 or 5. I think it was 5. That means, yeah, I wish I added a tally tracker of how many have been submitted versus how many we have left. I would assume that I have like 14 more I can place, but they're all over the place. There's like a couple Christmas ones, there's a couple fantasy, there's like one Western, there's a couple more sci-fi that came in. So in order for me to make a full cohesive kind of like episode, I want all the blueprints to be you know, congregated in one area so that we can make a thematic episode, if that makes sense. So again, if we want to move up to 2 a week, and everybody's been asking 2 a week, 2 a week, or even 3 a week, it's up to you guys. Get your blueprints in. And if you are really good at the game, get your blueprint in, go get another, make another. This is your opportunity now, if you're a really good builder, to do a high quality build and then grab another. Now, I will start restricting people if they take too many and their builds are not wowing me. You know, I want to see over the top builds like this from people that are taking multiples, right? So if you're watching this now, there's still an opportunity if you didn't get a plot to get in and get a plot. And if you've already built and you've already been part of the episodes, or you're currently working on other, there's opportunities to get even more. And the faster you guys submit, the faster I can make the episodes. The moment I'm at a point where I'm like, oh wow, I just recorded 2 videos, which I have done. Between yesterday and today, I recorded the sci-fi and the adventure, but you guys are seeing them spread out from week to week basis. Looking at the spreadsheet, I don't really have anything to move on to other than like 4 fantasy buildings, but I don't know if that's enough to make a full video. So I'm basically waiting, right? And because this one's coming out next week for me, and you guys are watching it now, I'm hoping by then we'll have some more and then I could sit down. If I'm only recording 1 or 2 episodes at a time, we're only going to be releasing 1 a week. And the moment that I'm like, wow, I can make 4, 5, 6 episodes, then we're going to up it. That's how we're going with it. So it's based off the amount that you guys are submitting. The rate of which you're submitting them depends on how fast the videos are rolling out. So if you're watching the videos in anticipation for another one, will just help us get them built. Hop into Discord, get building, help us create and get this project done. So I want to do a couple tests here. So first and foremost, I'm going to set the time back to 12 p.m. and we're going to go back to our flying head cam. Where is it? It's a little higher now. So can we see any of the new stuff that we just placed? We sort of can. So I take a screenshot of that. I think rather than doing a screenshot every time I place one building, I'm going to do a screenshot every episode. So we get the time lapse looking a little bit better for that. And last but not least, I want to save it. So we're going to do save. Yeah, that opened up immediately. Version 2.2. Or do we go 1.1? Yeah, we go 1.1. Look how quickly that saved. If you guys watched the last episode, I probably edit out most of that. But like when you go to save game, you usually get that lag. So as a fun fact, I'm going to show you guys something. If you go to C, users, your name, and then you go to saved games, and then Frontier Developments, Planet Coaster, then it'll be some user ID for your Steam name. All your saves are in here. What I did is I highlighted all of the saves, and then I right-clicked and went to Archive. And then I moved that archive outside of the folder to here. So these are all my saves. So inside of here is like my Yeti land, my Candy land, everything that I've ever done in Planet Coasters in here. I also did that. So yeah, and then I just deleted everything after, other than the most recent save that I needed. Then, yeah, there was archives, but they're the blueprints. So all of your blueprints. Unfortunately, mine were all broken, as you would have saw. Like I was unable to load the blueprints that were in here because what I did is I archived them on my old computer. And for whatever reason, it wanted to bring them back in from either cloud data or something, but they were all broken. None of them worked. And that's because the archive was missing data, but I had like a zip folder for those as well. But that zip folder isn't apparently on this computer. So I'm going to have to set up my old computer at some point if I want my old blueprints. But most of my blueprints that I liked, I uploaded to the Steam Workshop. So what I recommend you do is you go into your archives of all the blueprints you've ever made, grab them all, right-click archive, and then put them here. So you'll have your saves archive, your blueprints archive. Oh, I might be wrong about that. I think I made the archives folder and they were all in there and I might have deleted them. Whoops. So maybe they were on this computer. They just weren't working properly. Now I'm a little confused, but I think if you go into your saves, it should be all your saves and your blueprints. That might be it. So if you sort by type, it might show you what type is a save and what type is a blueprint, or you might be able to tell by the size or the name. So then, yeah, you can go ahead and archive your saves, but also archive your blueprints. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm just showing you the location where everything is. And by me doing that, even though I'm working on a mega park like this, a mega build like this, I can actually hit the escape key, and I'm on a really laggy park, hit save, and look how fast the save thing pops up. So if you've run into an issue where your game is like not saving very quickly, or your like menu doesn't load very fast, or you're just experiencing a lot of lag, that is because the game is caching all of the data that you've done ever since the last 7 years since this game came out, and it is just bogging down your system. You archive it all, it's in a zip folder. If you ever need it, you can go get it from the zip folder. But most likely, if you've built something that you like, it's probably on your Steam Workshop and you don't need it on your computer anyways. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that because it's a nice way, like it speeds up the workflow for me, and I just figured I'd help you guys with that if that's something you are struggling with as well. So leaving you guys with that, this is our first adventure episode. Again, come help us build these. Let's get them done. The sooner we get them done, the more episodes we can crank out. And I'm just waiting on you guys at this point, and I'm ready to go into full production. And I'm sure things are going to start speeding up as we go forward. So there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye now.